Thanks. Okay, so guys, I hope I been audible to everyone, right? And everyone has joined in. Cool. So I request all of you to quickly go ahead and launch your respective Google Colab, right? And we will be having the continuation of the concept, guys. Today we will be having some good pace, right? Because what I hope everyone is comfortable around Python environment. So today we will be having a couple of good concepts to be lined up, right? So we will be having your respective, you can say, some conditional structures and some control flow statements, as well as we'll be trying to have some you can say basic scripting functions part, right? That how you will be going ahead and how you will be creating up your functions and all those stuff, right? So all these things we will be doing up, guys, today, right? Because we have to go ahead and we have to explore and focus on to the data analytics part in Python. Apart from that, as I've already told you, that Python is a general purpose language. It will be having a good number of applications and have a diverse domain, right, for all these things. Yes, for sure, Shikhar, right? We'll be going ahead and we will be increasing up the pace. Okay, cool. So, guys, everyone, please go ahead and launch your respective Google Colab for me. Right? So, we have already cleared that how you'll be going ahead and how you will be opening up the respective shared documents. So, if anyone is having any sort of issues, right, please refer to the recorded session. Okay, pretty well. Fine. So, guys, see, one of the important thing that I would like to go ahead and I would simply be discuss over here, right? There is one of the important thing that why we have started with Python, because it is something you can say a very back part in the world of data analytics and data science domain. Okay, because if you will be going ahead with specific data visualization tools, right, like Power BI, Tableau, and all those things, so it's simply drag and drop part, right? Once you know the basic scripting part, complexities part, how you are going ahead and loading up the data, what are the features, how you are cleaning it up, how you are pre-processing it up, right? So it is very, very easy for each one of you to understand and to work with these no code tools, right? Slowly, you can say you will be having some sort of DAX functionalities in Power BI and all those stuff, but apart from that, it's simple drag and drop tools. Fine. So that's why I have picked up Python from start, so that each one of you can go ahead and you can explore up, and then we will be having some wonderful operations around. Okay. So let me go ahead and let me quickly connect my Google Colab, and here we go, and let's start up the concept. Fine. So just give me 1 minute. Let me give a quick overview. So we have simply been discussed about the way of how you're assigning the information, static way, dynamic way, right? What will be the major issue that we are having up in dynamic or user defined variable? So over here, we will be having an issue that whatever the information we are putting in, it will automatically be converted into string, right? Which is useless if I'll be going ahead and if I'll be accepting the numeric information, right? Then we have simply worked with a BMI calculator, right? By having and accepting up all the respective, you can say, inputs, right? And if I want to go ahead and if I want to accept only the numeric information, so exclusively I can use typecasting. For integer, I can use int function along with input. For float, which is capable of accepting both input as integer as well as floating point number, we can use float, right? So these are the things that we have simply been discussed up, and then we have built it up a very small and first logic on Python, right? I hope everyone is clear about it. If anyone is having any of the issues, you can clear up the doubt, right? No worries, just ping up the same onto the chat section. So over here, guys, what we'll be doing up today, we will be going ahead and we will be particularly discussing some of the data structures quickly, right? So over here, there will be basic data structures in Python, right? So these will be, you can say, divided into two parts. First one is known as mutable data format. Okay. So just don't fear about all these names, right? You will be easily able to remember all of them with their applicability. Fine. So one is known as mutable data formats. Okay. And over here, the next segregations or the second type is known as immutable data format. Okay. So wherever you will be having any of the data analytics jobs, business analytics jobs, fine. For sure, there will be a requirement of Python that will be written as, right, as a scripting language. So on to the same, guys, if you want to have tested your basic knowledge, right, or recruiter want to test up, so they will be having these verbal questions. Okay. So over here, you need to understand that what are the data structures part, fine? So you can simply go ahead and you can have a very generic meaning that data structure is the format of arranging information or arranging data, fine? Now there will be different by default formats, right? That in what way you are storing up the information, fine? So according to the format, we have two formats. One is mutable data formats and the other one is immutable data formats. Now, what will be mutable data formats? Fine. So in Python, guys, it is very, very important that how you are arranging up the information is totally depend upon its application. Fine. So your first segregation over here as mutable data will simply be in the data formats where stored information can be changed easily, right? Now over here you just have to remember these things, because later on once we are implementing it up, then it will be very, very much clear. Fine. Now what is immutable? It's pretty simple. These are the format where stored information, right, cannot be changed. Okay. Now over here, guys, these will be the two types of data structures that we have in Python, right? Now if I'll be going ahead for mutable data format, so for sure you will be having list, you will be having your respective dictionary, right? You will be having your sets. Okay. So these are known as your you can say mutable data format. And what are immutable data format? So you have for now two types of data format. One is tuple and the other one is string. Okay. So all of you have already worked with string. It will be textual information, right? Are you getting it, that what are data structure? These are the way how you are arranging the information. So string is also a data format or a data structure. Why? You are arranging the characters or textual information. Fine. We haven't included numbers because you can say that numbers have their own logical entity. Fine. So for sure they are immutable in nature, right? If it is written as 54, so 54 has its own logical entity. If you segregate 5 and 4 exclusively, so 5 has separate logical entity and 4 is separate logical entity, right? So for now, are you clear with this basic structure that we have discussed for now? What are the data structures, right? And what are the different types, everyone? Can I have your quick responses? We have mutable and immutable data formats. That's cool, Bhuvnesh, Shrikant, pretty well. Okay. So within the same, guys, now let's go ahead and let's quickly implement it up, and let's see why we say that immutable data format are the formats where stored information cannot be changed. Fine. So let me start with this. Yeah. So guys, in immutable data format, the first format is string. Okay. So all of you know that what is string? String is collection of certain characters, right? Or text. Okay. Now, how to define it up? All of you know that yes, if I want to go ahead and if I want to simply define a string, right? So let me also have a variable. So I'll be having a variable x. Inside x, I'll be going ahead and I'll be storing up one string textual information, that is Python. Okay, Shikhar is saying not able to understand written in mutable data. Okay, see, Shikhar, these are the respective arrangement of information, right? So if I'll be talking about arrangements, fine. So as in real world, we will be having the parkings.
Sir, actually, I didn't listen to that part. Actually, it is written format where stored can be changed easily. So I am not able to understand what does this line means.
Okay, so Shikhar, over here it is the stored information, right? Okay. So probably what will be the data structures if you go ahead and if you will be having C, C++, right? So you will be having the different, you have the queues, linked list and all those stuff, right? Similarly, we also have the same in Python, but these are the basic data structures by using which you can go ahead and you can construct any of the respective data structures. Okay. So that is the important thing. But for the data analytics part, you will be seeing that how you are using up these things and how you are creating up the later on a good and robust data structures for having information. That's cool. Now over here, guys, I'll be going ahead and I'll be storing up Python over here, right? So yes, Python is a string. It will be stored in an X variable. Okay, pretty simple. We all have simply seen. If I check the type of X, so what I'll be having up, yes, I'll be having it up as str, which is string. Pretty simple. So we have successfully defined a string. Now why we say that string is immutable data format, right? Now guys, here you will be able to understand the same. We are implementing up and we are seeing it up, right? But before that, one of the major concept of Python that today you all will be learning up, right? Which is very, very important. Why? Because even if it is a small collection of data, or even you are working with large data set which is having millions of record and thousands of column, right? This respective skills in Python will be helping you to get the required information. Fine. So for an example, it's very obvious that if you will be having somewhere around 10 pair of shoes, right? So it is obvious that you don't wear 10 pair of shoes at once, right? You will be going ahead and you will be picking up of your own choice, right? It's totally up to you. Fine. Similarly, today we will be learning that from the collection of information, if I want to go ahead and if I want to pick any set of information, how I can go ahead and how I can direct my machine, right? So over here, guys, if you will be having a look, so it is very, very important skill of accessing and extracting out the desired information from the collection of information, right? So it's like if you have 10 pair of shoes and you want to pick any one of them, so how you will picking up, it's up totally your wish. But in any of the data sets or in any of the collection, if I will be wanting only a single set of information, so how I'll be extracting out? Fine. So for an example, guys, over here, this is X. X will be holding up the entire collection of information. What will be the collection? P, Y, T, H, O, N. These are the collection of character. So P is also there, Y is also there, T is also there, H is also there, right? So over here, how I'll be going ahead and how I'll be picking up any specific information. For an example, I want to go ahead and I want to extract out T, right? Or for my calculations or for my requirement, I want that from this entire textual information I am interested to extract out O. So how I can do that, right? So from over here it is string, but later on you will be using the same concept onto the data set, guys, where you will be having, let's say if you have 10,000 columns, right? But you are interested to pick the column at or you can say you want to pick the column 52th column, or you want to go ahead and if you want to extract out the 900th column, so how you will be going and how you will be picking up only a small section of information, that is very, very important. Okay, so anyone have any of the guesses how we can go ahead and how we can extract any specific information from the entire collection? Everyone, because as a data analytics or you can say analyst professional, you will be doing it a lot. From the entire chunks and chunks of data, you are simply being taking up what is useful for you, what will be helping you to solve the problem. Okay, any guesses, guys? Can I have your quick responses? Okay, so now let's see the beauty of Python, that and how you can do it up. Shikhar, to be very honest, in Python, we don't have the concept of array. Python don't support array, right? In Python, we have the concept of NumPy array. Okay, from a package, we will be using an array, but in the core implementation of Python, we don't have the concept of array. Okay, yeah. So over here, guys, just be over here, and today we will be going ahead and discussing one of the golden rule, right? And by having these golden rule to be learned up, all you will be becoming a good Python coder, right? So what is the golden rule, guys? That everything in Python starts from zero. Just remember this thing. Okay. So over here, guys, this is a golden rule that everything in Python starts from zero. So later you will be able to understand that why I'm saying it. Fine. So over here, you can say that X is a variable. What is the information that is stored onto it? It is a string, which is Python. Okay. So over here, this is the collection. Yes, this is the collection, guys, that has been stored onto the variable. Now Python use memory locations, fine, onto your computing resources. As you can see that you have some of the disk space also, right? If I'll be showing you. So over here you can see you will be having some of the disk space. So why you have disk space? Why you have this storage? Because Python will be storing up all the information, and there is a particular pattern that how Python stores the information. Fine. So guys, whenever any of the collection will be stored in Python by default start giving up some of the indexes over here. Okay. So each stored element in the specific memory locations will be marked within by default numeric information that will be starting from zero. So P is first element, it will be stored at zeroth index, right? Similarly, Y will be there up as you have serial number. Similarly, whatever the set of information that will be stored in Python will always be giving up some by default indexes, numeric indexes. Fine. So P will be stored as zeroth index, Y will be stored as first index, T will be stored at second index. Likewise, the pattern will goes on and will increment it by one. Fine. So these things will be known as indexes. Okay. So guys, today we have to just go ahead and use these comments, right? But from next class onwards, I'll be going and I'll be having my pan tab to be used. Fine, so that we can go ahead and we can draw all these things. Okay, yeah. So I'll be using my pen tab onto the screen, so it will be very great. Okay, so now you can have a look that this is Python. Fine, what you all will be seeing up, you all will be seeing that this is the set of information. But in backend, how Python is managing all those information, how Python knows that this is a string, right? P will be stored at or will be my first element. Y will be the second element, right? It can also alter it up because at the end it's a machine, right? It can go ahead and it can alter the character, but why it hasn't altered it up? Why it has stored the same information, right? So it is very clear that whatever the information that will be stored, each individual element will be assigned with the by default indexes. Okay, are you getting it, guys? The concept of indexes, everyone? Okay, as you all have roll numbers, so that you can easily able to go ahead and identify it in a class. Similarly, whatever the information that you will be having up will have a respective indexes. Fine. So indexes will be the reverse indexes also, right? uh Python supports both regular indexes and the reverse indexes. Fine. So we are not going ahead for the reverse indexes, right? Because majorly you all will be using this regular indexes. Fine. So now guys, just tell me that if I want to go ahead and if I want to extract any of the information, right? It's a small string, but as I've already told you that you can also consider and apply the same concept on large data set. Okay, so you will be having two sort of concept. One is indexing and the other concept is known as slicing. Okay, so what is indexing, guys? Whenever you want to go ahead and whenever you want to extract out a single required information. Okay, right? So what you will be doing up, guys, everyone, if you want only a single element, right, then you will be using indexing. And over here, what will be the syntax? That you need to have a variable name in which the information has been stored. And then, guys, you have to use the square bracket. Please be have a look over here, because you will be using a good number of square brackets. Okay. And then inside the square bracket, guys, you can give the index number of the element that you want. Okay, pretty simple. Now let's go ahead and let's give it a try. Now I am interested to extract out the H, right, from the entire collection that is holded up by X. So can you help me with the syntax, that how I can able to extract out H? Everyone, I want your responses onto the chat section. It's very easy, and it's very important, guys, in any of the scripting language, right? Now you are using Python for your communication to the machine, that what you want. Okay, Navya, what is your variable name? It's O. See, 0 cannot be a variable name. Numbers cannot be the variable name, right? Okay. So I am saying the first element start from 0. Okay. But over here, I am interested to extract out H. So the index number is pretty well. But what is the variable name? Variable name is X, right? So if you execute it up, you will be seeing that X is holding up the entire collection. But what I want, that from X, I want that what element will be stored at third index. So if I'll be giving 3 over here, that's cool, Shikhar. You all will be getting the single information that you have extracted out, right? If I want to extract P, so what will be the index number of P? It's the first element. So first element always stored at 0, right? Are you getting it? Now you can go ahead and you can give any index of your choice, right? If you want to go ahead and if you want to give fifth, so n will be there up, right? Now, guys, let's say if I go ahead and give any of the index for which you don't have any of the information stored. So what do you think, what will be the output I'm expecting, guys? Will it be a successful execution of the code? Yes. Hello, my dear coders. What do you think? No. Why? Because this time it is an index error, right? So why I have executed that, so that you should aware about that what is index error. It is simply saying that string index out of range. Yes, there is no such respective index exist, right? So that's why you will be having a look that yes, there is no element, no index existing up where the information is stored, right? For which Python has given any of the number as 10, right? Now there is one of the, yes, important thing that you will be accepting in interview question. Fine. For an example, if you give space, right? If you give space, so what do you think, space will be counted as an element or not? No, Shikhar, it will not work. Okay. So now, guys, if you will be having a look, so always remember that whenever you have any of the blank space, are you getting me, that this is a white space? So this white space is also be counted, right, as an element. Fine. So let me just go ahead and let me give you a way. There is a also inbuilt function, right? If I want to know that how many element are stored in the respective string, right? So there is an inbuilt function, guys, everyone. Okay. So if you want to know that what will be the number of elements, you will be having a length function. Inside length, if you give any of the variables, so automatically you will be having output that okay, x is a variable where you have 6 piece of information. So if you count from p to n, there will be 6. Okay, so if I'll be adding any of the blank space, this is an interview question which will be asked. So what will be the thing? Will it not be counted in a string? So if you execute it up, guys, see, the length of the string is now 7. So even a blank space will be counted up as a respective element. Fine. And over here, guys, if you check for now P3. So what is P3? P3 will be H. After H, you will be having in space over here, right? So if you check that what will be the information as fourth index, so you will be having a blank space. Are you getting it? That blank space is also being counted as an element. So always be remember that. Now guys, what is the importance to discuss this thing? Okay, because as a data analytics professional, you will be cleaning up the data, right? And many times the issue of these white spaces will not been helping you in any of the analytics, right? And creating unnecessary errors whenever you are using any of the statistical package or any of the functionalities, right? So as a data science professional, you are also been working closely with these white spaces, blank spaces, right? Before, after, and middle. That's why I have simply given you a way that white space matters, always matters in the analytics process. Okay, that's cool, guys. Everyone, are you clear with the indexing part? Now let me come on to the slicing part. That what is slicing part? So I think I have got a response from, yeah, Shikhar. So over here you will be getting it up. Now what is slicing, guys? So slicing is a process where you will be going ahead and you will be extracting out multiple elements in the pattern. Okay, fine. Over here, let me remove it up. Okay, I can also use some trim functionality, but I have saved it for later, right? So that for now you don't need to be confused with all these things. Okay, just pretty simple space. So X will be storing up some string textual information, that is Python. Now guys, now I want to go ahead and I want to be interested to extract out multiple elements. Let's say I am interested to extract YTH all in once. So with indexing, I cannot able to do so. Why? Because it will take only one indexes at a time. So how I can extract out multiple element, right? Multiple piece of information at once. So for that, guys, we have the concept of slicing, right? Just have a look at syntax, everyone. Syntax is pretty easy. You needs to have your variable name where your information has been stored. And then guys, you needs to give up starting index colon ending index, okay, of the collection that you are looking for, right? And there is one thing more, that whatever the end index you are looking up, make sure that you are simply being incrementing it by 1 for including the end index. Okay, everyone. So you will be understanding the logic that why I am saying that you need to increment the end index by 1, because if you want to include the end index, right, if you are not including and if you're not adding 1 in the end index, it will automatically exclude it up, right? For an example over here, guys, everyone, just give me what is the value of starting index of your collection, everyone. if I want to extract out YTH, yes. So what will be the starting index? Starting index is 1. Okay, correct. Because P is having index as 0 and Y is having index as 1. So your pattern will be starting from Y. So I can say that starting index is 1. Now what will be my end index, everyone? Just give me your quick response. That what will be my ending index? It will be 3. Exactly. Because H will be having index number as 3. Fine. Now if I want to go ahead and if I want to extract the pattern, I'll be following my syntax. That variable square bracket starting index is 1, then a colon symbol, and then an index. So for an example, let's forget about +1. I'll be directly giving 3 over here. Fine. Now guys, if you execute it up, so you will be seeing that only Y and T will be extracted out. Why? Because by default, whatever the value of n index you give, it will be decremented by 1 and your n index will not be included, right? So if you have a look, what will be the index number that will be taken up? So starting index always included up. So index number 1 will be extracted out, and till what the pattern will goes on, you have a colon symbol that the pattern will goes on and form a series. You are giving 3. So what is 3 minus 1? 3 minus 1 is 2. So index number 1 and 2 will only be extracted out. So on your window, on your screen, you can say only Y and T has been extracted out. Are you getting it, everyone? But if I want to also include the n index, which is H, so what I needs to do, I needs to increment the n index by 1, so that if the value by default functionality will decrement 1, so your n index will be included up. For an example, now let's say the n index will be 4. Okay, so the pattern will start from 1 and goes to end value minus 1. What is the end value minus 1? It is 4 minus 1, which is 3. So pattern will start from 1 and goes till 3. So 1, 2 and 3. Okay. Now if you execute it up, guys, you will be having a look. Now H has been extracted out. Are you getting the logic that why I have told you that just increment n index by 1? Because by default always the end value will be decremented by 1. Okay, so if you increment 1 and automatically decrement 1, so your n index will ultimately included up, right? So that is the major usage of incrementing the n index. Are you getting it, guys? Can I have your responses, everyone? Please let me know if anyone is having any of the issues, right? We are increasing up the pace slowly, right? And by the end of this week, we'll be going ahead and we will be having a robust Python foundations with the knowledge of packages. Okay, so don't worry about it. That's cool. Bhuvnesh, Shikhar, what about others? Shrikant, Yashwant, Uday, Akshay? That's cool. So how many of you have already worked with Python? I think we have one or two people who already have the analytics background. Okay, pretty well. Okay, let's go ahead and let's just been there up. Okay, so guys, just give me one thing, that how I will be going and how I'll be extracting out THON. I'm interested to extract out these four element at once, or four pieces of information at once. Can I have your quick responses, the highlighted one? How you'll be extracting it out? Two colon seven. Okay. Pretty well. Okay, guys. Just quickly see over here. There is also one beauty of this slicing part, right? Shrikant is saying 3 colon 6. Okay, Shrikant, tell me that your T, what will be the index number of T? As I've already told you, the golden rule is that in Python everything starts from 0. So your first element have 0th index, second element have 1, and your T will be having index as 2, right? So starting index is 2, and you can go ahead and if you want you can leave blank. That is the beauty of your slicing, right? Over here what I'll be doing up, I'll be going ahead and I'll be leaving the AND index blank. So what it will do, it will start from 2 and goes till the end value. So after n there is nothing. So if I want, I can simply leave it blank and you can have a look, right? So which means that you want to start from 2 and you want to go ahead to the n index. Okay. And if you want to go ahead and if you want to give 2 colon 7, then also you will be having the same thing. Are you getting it? Fine. So this is how Python is a smart language. If you are not giving the parameter, by default it'll go to the end of the collection. It will include all the values starting from 2. Okay. Are you getting it, guys? Everyone? Fine. So that's the way. Apart from that, for small operations, you can also have a third parameter step, but that is not important over here. Okay. So now guys, let's come on to the importance of these things, right? So these indexing and slicing you will be also using later on whenever you are working with data visualizations and all those stuff, right? So you don't need to worry about it, right? Now over here guys, what we need to do, what we need to have for now, let's come on to the immutable data format, right? We have already told that string is immutable data format. Now how I can prove it up? Fine. Okay. So this is my respective string Python. Fine. Now guys, this variable is of string type and already stored this string. But in this string, let's say I want to go ahead and I want to assign a new information, right? So instead of P, what I needs to have, I needs to change or swap P by C. Instead of Python, I want to have Python. Okay. So how I'll be extracting up the information? If I want to extract P, I'll be giving 0. Fine. Now, if I want to assign new set of information, guys, I'll be going ahead that at this position in X variable at 0th index, I want to go ahead and I want to give C, right? So over here, what we are doing up, we are simply been trying to change the stored information. Can we able to do so? Can we able to do so? Can I, instead of P, can I able to update C? Right? Now guys, the moment you execute it up and over here, there you have an interesting comment. So it is saying that string object does not support item assignment, which means that once you have defined a string, you cannot change its stored informations and element. Are you getting it? Why we told that, okay, string is an immutable data format? Because stored information cannot be changed at all. And if you try to change it up, you will be simply ended up that it does not support item assignment. Right? Now you have a robust reason, guys. We can say that string is immutable, yes or no? Yes or no? That's cool, Rajan. Okay. What we can do, just here is one of the difference. I can reassign a new information. In X, I can give any information. It's okay. But if it is a string, so I cannot change the stored information. In X, I can give a new information, a new set of string. It's fine because it's a variable. I can give any information of my choice. But once it is stored in the stored collection, I cannot change any of the information. Right? So now X is a string. In this string, if I want to change the L, right, to T, I cannot. I cannot. Right? That is the important thing. That's cool, guys. I got a good response. Fine. Now let me go ahead and let me have uh, the next thing to be discussed up quickly. Right? So apart from this string, we have the other collection of information which is very interested and you will be able to understand it. It is known as tuple. Fine. So now what is tuple? Tuple is nothing. It's the collection of different data types, right? So in string, you can store the respective thing, right? As you can say only as the textual part, even correct character, special symbol, all those things. But in tuple, guys, what you can do, you can have different data types. You can have integer, you can have float, you can have the respective string data format. Any data format you can easily able to store it in a single collection, in a single data structure, and that is known as tuple. For an example, how you will be relating it with real world. Let's say if in Python you want to store the information of any of your respective team member, or as an employer you want to store the information of your employee, right? So how you will be able to store it in a Python? For that you need a data structure, and tuple is that data structure. Okay, so let me come on to the syntax, guys. That what will be the syntax of tuple? That you need to use round brackets. Inside round brackets you can give multiple elements separated by comma, right? And it's totally depend upon your choice. You can have a number of elements. There is no restrictions. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's define a tuple over here. I'll be naming it as fire. You can have any name of your choice. Why? Because it's just a variable. And now, guys, or I will be writing as even for employee, right? And let me store the name of the employee. It is in textual information. Let me store the age of the employee. It is 32, which is an integer. Let me store the you can say monthly pay of John, right? So it will be somewhere around 4,000, or you can say it will be somewhere around 8,000 dollars 34 cents. Okay, so it is float. Okay, now I want to also store the mail address of John, so I can say john@gmail.com, right? So now, guys, you can see that I'll be having integer, I have float, I have also string, right? So you can say that tuple will be helping up to collect all the information as per the applicability. Fine. So if I execute it up, okay, and if I'll be having a look at E1, guys, right? So you can see that over here you will be having all the respective collection, right? Name, age, salary, and email address, right? And if you check the type of E1, so what do you think? What will be the type of E1 over here? Whether it is integer, whether it is float, because once you have checked for integer, float and string, it will be giving you the specific type. But what you think over here, guys, what will be the data type of this E1, right? So if I execute it up, you can have a look that it's tuple, right? And now within the same, guys, if you will be going ahead and if you will be having a look, right, you can use the indexing and slashing in the same way, right? That's why one, you get this concept, you can apply it to any of the collections starting from string to large data set, right? So over here, if I want to access the salary of the employee, so how I can extract out, okay, what will be the index number of this respective piece of information? Everyone, what is the index number? If you go in the even collection, what is the index number? Can I have your quick responses? What will be the index number of $8,000.34? If I want to extract out the salary of John, I don't want all the information from even, I'm interested in only salary. Okay. So guys, I'll be having even, and no, Akshay, I'm not going ahead with the slicing. I can also use indexing, right? Because I am interested to have single information. So what is the index number? This is one element. Just make sure that now you are not only been interested with this string. This is one element, this is second element, and this is third element separated by comma. Okay. So if I'll be going and if I'll be checking the index number, so John will be stored at 0th index, and at first index it's 32, and second index you have salary. So if I give 2, so you can easily able to extract out only the salary. If you want to extract out the name of the employee, it will be stored at 0th index. Are you getting it, everyone? Just have a look. Yes? Can I have your responses? Right? Don't confuse with that, okay, this individual piece of information. Now, no, because it's a tuple. If you only have string, then string have information as JOHN, right? But over here you have the entire John as only a single element, then 32, then this respective part, right? So this is how things will be working up. Fine. So now guys, what I need to do, let's say I am interested to change the salary of the employee, right? Can I able to do so? What will be the index number? It's 2. So I'll be extracting up the salary, that it is $8,000. Now what I'll be doing up, I'll be interested to reassign it. So what we are doing up, we are trying to change the stored information. Everyone, just have a look. Now what you got it? You got tuple object does not support item assignment. Is it having similar resemblance with string? Yes. Can you have a look that if you try to change the element of stored information in string, racing string object does not support item assignment, and same tuple object does not support item assignment. Fine. Which means that both of them are immutable. Once you have stored the information, you cannot change at all, right? Now guys, let me quickly discuss one more, because we are there up out of time. So I would like to just help you to differentiate between mutable and immutable data formats, right? So over here you have the list, which is mutable data format. Now guys, what is list? If I'll be going ahead on tuple, right, and if I'll be copying up this respective description, and if I'll be pasting the same in front of list, So over here, I'm not wrong to do so. Why? Because these are exactly same. Okay, what's the difference? Difference is of mutability, that if you are working with some confidential and very important information, please always store it into tuple so that no one can change it, right? But if you will be going and if you will be having certain respective information which is subjective to frequent changes, then you have to use lists like prices of the products and all those stuff, right? So later on in when we are dealing with data set, we are discussing all these things, right? But for now, you needs to be comfortable around all these things. Okay, so now guys, what is the syntax? Just have a look. So if I'll be going ahead and if I'll be talking about syntax, so for syntax, what you need to have, instead of round bracket, see, in tuple you are using round bracket. Are you getting me? But in list you are using square bracket, and inside square bracket you will be having the element, and this changed the entire implementation, right? So let me go ahead and let me you can say define a list. So now I'll be saying el, which is employee list. And now guys, just to make you understand that it will be also storing all the different data formats, I'll be going ahead and I'll be storing the same sort set of element. Okay, so now over here I am saying that it's an employee list. Fine. If I execute it up and if I have a look on employee, so you can see that all the elements will be there. If I check the type of employee, so it will be having a list. Pretty simple. Okay, now guys, let's come on to the indexing part. Indexing part and slicing part remain same. There will be no such issues. All things will be same. Okay, so if I'll be going ahead and if I'll be having a look, if I want to extract out the salary of the employee, yes I can. If I want to extract the you can say mail of the employee, so pretty simple. If I want to extract the salary and mail of the employee, so guys, can I have a quick responses? If I want to extract the salary and mail of the employee, so what thing I can use for slicing? Everyone, I'm interested in your responses. Just tell me that how I can extract both of them with the help of slicing. Can I have a quick responses, guys? Everyone, please. But you can give it a try. No worries. Don't fear about. Just try to have the concepts to be taken into the consideration. Akshay, Shrikant, everyone. Yashwant, Rajan. Okay. So over here, can I do like this? 2:, I can have the element at second index till the end of the index, right? So this is the thing, how I can able to extract it out, right? Now guys, let's come on to the mutability part, which is very, very important, right? Now over here, if I'll be going in and if I'll be extracting out the salary, so it's $8,000. Now I want to change it up. What we are doing up over here, guys, we are simply trying to change information. So will be able to succeed? What do you think? Can we able to change the salary of the employee? Current is $8,000.34. Can we do it to 9,000? If you execute it, guys, this time you don't have any of the error. Why? Because you are using the you can say mutable data format where you can easily able to change the information, right? So earlier in the collection, you can have a look, the salary is 8,000, but now once you have assigned the new information at the same position, it has been successfully changed, right? But onto the same hand, if you try to do the same with tuple, which is immutable, you have the error that object does not support item assignment. Same set of operation, but the difference is mutability, right? Are you getting it, guys? Everyone, can I have your quick responses? Akshay, Devi, Divya, that's cool. Shikhar, what about Navya, Shrikant, Rakesh, that's cool. Uday, Devi. So guys, if anyone is having any of the issues, please let me know. If you want unmute access, please you can unmute yourself and ask any set of doubts that you have, right? The important thing is to just capture up the respective thing, how you can form the collection, how you can capture the information, and later on how you will be able to segregate that when you have to use the mutable data format and when you have to use the immutable data format, right? Okay, so that's cool, guys. Thanks. That's all from my side for the day, right? So this week, as I've already told you, that we will be going and we will be completing the Python for data analytics, the basic foundation part, right? Then we are going ahead and working with some of the packages, and then we are shifting on to the advanced analytics tool, right? Where you will be going ahead and you will be having all the respective data related processes to be implemented up. Okay, that's cool. Let me just go ahead and let me just share this file with you, all of you. Okay, so guys, over here, you will be having your respective file, right? Yes, here we go. Okay, just go ahead and check onto the chat section. I'll be waiting for 1 more minute so that each one of you can download the file, right? So in this day 3 file, you will be having all the codes from scratch from day 1, right? So if anyone is having any such thing, so you can go ahead and you can discuss up the same, okay? And you can refer the same file. Okay, so guys, all well for now, everyone? That's cool, Shikhar, Devi, pretty well. Yashwan downloaded, that's cool. Okay, so see you on to the next class, guys, right? And make sure that I'll be sharing up the assessment that will be revolving on to all these parts of basic operations as well as the data formats, right? Mutable and immutable. So make sure that you will be submitting up and having the same assessment to be solved up before the next class that we will be having up on Friday. Okay, so that you have a certain hands-on practice for these part and you can do it by yourself as well. Okay, bye bye guys, take care, see you.